we got two more comics left for you guys. We're rolling right along. Your next comic, very funny. Give it up for Brendan Smith, everybody. Let me hear it.
Alright guys, I'm glad to be out here. I feel like it's good for me to be out. I need to get out more, I think. Like, I think the reason I'm not like a social dude is I'm not very confident. And I think the reason I'm not confident is because I was an altar boy and a Boy Scout and no one ever touched me. I was literally in the woods alone with someone who later turned out to be a vicious predator. We just made fires together. That's all we did. That's all we did. Terrible.
That's so much stronger.
I know. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he showed me how to tie knots, but I wasn't in any of them. Like, I'm not making this up. Literally, the priest I was an altar server for literally went to jail. Which means every Sunday he was just looking at me like, nah. Like, there's things about me now that should make me confident, right? Like, there are things now that, like, I'm 6'3", and when you think 6'3", people think, like, cool, strapping, confident, but I'm just failing at a high altitude. Like, I'm so antisocial, if I was trapped on a desert island with someone, they'd still have to make friends with a volleyball. Like, I'm a very awkward guy. I had an awkward encounter recently where I was talking to this girl, and she thought she caught me staring, and she said, hey, my eyes are up here. Which is a crazy thing to say to me, because, like, I'm autistic. I don't look anyone in the eyes. Like, I had to tell her, not only am I not going to make eye contact, I wasn't even looking at your boobs. I was just adding all the numbers on your t-shirt. Like, I've never formally been tested for autism, but, like, they never formally tested Peter Dinklage for dwarfism, you know? Like, you could eyeball some stuff, I think. Most of what I do is I'm at home, I just hang out. I like following the news. That's, like, my big hobby. Like, anyone here watch that Jeffrey Dahmer TV show that was on Netflix? Yeah, apparently I just found out a bunch of people are mad about it now because Netflix puts all their shows in categories, and the category they put Dahmer into was LGBTQ. Yeah, I get being offended by that. I was more offended they put it in food and travel, to be honest. I feel like, I don't know, the news is crazy though. Like Trump got shot a while back, that was wild. Although he got grazed in the ear, so I don't know how much that like counts, you know? Like I feel like getting grazed in the ear and saying you got shot is like getting a hand job and saying you lost your virginity. Like dude, it didn't even go in anything. Over the pants assassination. I don't know. A lot of weird stuff in the news. Like anyone else find it weird that weed and abortion switched places? Like it used to be if you wanted weed, you went to a back alley. If you wanted abortion, you went to the doctor. But then they swapped, you know? What I'm really getting at is I have a friend who used to sell weed out of his mom's basement and all his business dried up when a dispensary opened. I'm like, dude, maybe you gotta pick up a coat hanger. I don't know. Healthcare is messed up, I don't know. Like, I'll tell you how messed up healthcare is in America. I have this friend who she's diabetic, and in order to afford insulin, she had to start an OnlyFans. Yeah, she's selling feet pics to treat her diabetes. It's a real use it or lose it situation. Healthcare being so messed up, you need a blood sugar daddy. It's ridiculous. Used to be she just got pricks in her fingers, now they're in all her holes. It's terrible. All my friends are really going through it. I had a friend who just came out as transgender, and they have it hard because they live in like deep rural Pennsylvania, so they deal with transphobic rednecks all the time. And I gotta say, I never got transphobic rednecks, because like, could you imagine being told you can't be something else by a dude who's dressed up like the Woods? Like, there are dudes in my town who are like, they're never gonna be a real woman. I'm like, you're never gonna be a tree, Dale. Younger people go through a lot. I think older people are more optimistic. Like, my dad's even optimistic about like the post-apocalypse, because he watched all these shows like The Last of Us, like The Walking Dead. He tells me how he would survive, how he'd be doing great. And then he was asking me, he's like, Brent, I'm watching a show about nuclear war. If there's a nuclear war, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, die. Like, I'm not gonna become the road warrior in a Hyundai Elantra. That's not gonna happen. I cannot afford a Ford. If they give me a free car for this show, I'll get one. I'll take a picture at this point. But like, I don't know, I feel like if you tell like that's an older perspective to be like, how am I going to survive the post-apocalypse? If you tell a Gen Z the world's going to end, we're just going to be like relieved, you know? Like, I wasn't gonna make rent this month. This would really like, people my age, like, we grew up with school shootings happening when we were in school. Like, when I was a kid, everyone was afraid of mass shootings. Like I was the only kid in my whole school who wasn't afraid of a school shooting, because I was the one they all thought was gonna do it. I looked like such a mass shooter when I was in high school. They didn't want me to take part in the drills. Because they didn't want me to know where they were going to be hiding. My teacher would be like, okay, everyone, it's time for the drill. Everyone take your positions except Brendan. You wait in the hall. That's where you're going to be anyway. I was worried at first because the rest of this front row is empty, but you guys are really pulling it.